get back to work. State are your next witness.
The state calls Captain Draper.
Ms. Whistle. Morning, Capt.
Morning, sir.
Do me a favor, stand here, face the judge, raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth?
I do.
Right, to have a seat, sir. You may proceed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you state and name for the record?
Samuel Edward Draper, SAMUEL,
And where are you employed?
Collierville Police Department,
And what's your position?
Captain of the Uniform Patrol.
How long have you been in that position?
Coming up on a year,
Okay. And how long have you been with the Collierville Police Department?
approximately 3 years.
Okay. So I'm going to take you back to April 4th, 2019. Do you recall responding to an apartment complex that day?
Yes, ma'am. On that day, I believe it was roughly around 22:26, responding to a weapons complaint of shots fired at 1681 South Elstone Place East. Myself and a couple other CPD officers and SV pulled up on scene, pulled up to the entrance point of the Meridian Apartments, and the gate was already open. I believe another occupant of the complex, he was saying, hey, the shots are coming up from this apartment complex. Me and one of my partners, Officer McClain, we rounded about apartment complex, I believe it was 204 to 205 of Building 8. And then when we were coming up the stairwell, one of the tenants in the apartment complex said that the shots were coming from the top right apartment. So myself and Officer McClain went up the stairwell, made a right, observed a male subject down on the ground in the front entryway of the apartment in a pool of blood. Saw a female victim sitting or braced against the wall to the male victim, and then I observed the suspect a little ways behind him. There was an island, kitchen island in that apartment. You see was standing to the right of that armored weapon.
Okay. And at any time did she put down the weapon once you arrived?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Could you tell us what happened with that?
So once we got there, I observed her with the weapon. Myself and on-scene officers were trying to communicate with her to put down the weapon. I don't recall how long or how much time elapsed, but after some time, we requested a less lethal beanbag be called up, and that's when Officer Jenkins deployed that, and she immediately fell to the ground. And that's when we went into the apartment complex, secured a weapon.
Could you describe to the jury what exactly is a less lethal firearm?
A less lethal weapon system is a 12-gauge shotgun that's been converted to a less lethal means. It's deployed by a super sock, which is a small, approximately 4 inches Kevlar type of cloth. That's inside that Kevlar cloth is number 8 lead pellets, and it's a means for us to, during violent situations, it can still be lethal, but it's a less lethal means to try to incapacitate the subject in order to get tested.
And I don't recall if you stated before, but which officer employed the less lethal?
That was Officer Kelly Jenkins.
Okay. And you stated that you saw the suspect hit the ground?
Correct.
Okay. Do you see that same suspect in the courtroom today?
Yeah, she's right sitting up in front of me.
Could you describe what she's wearing?
White jacket, blue shirt, glasses.
We could have the record. Captain Draper has identified the defendant. Okay. And if you recall, how many times was the suspect hit with the less lethal?
One time.
And after she was hit, do you recall who secured the scene or who cleared the weapon?
I believe that was Officer McClain, because myself and the other officers, we didn't know who else was in the apartment, and we went to the left. And that's when Officer McClain cleared the weapon, I believe put it on the island of the Tabatha Perry.
And do you recall any other weapons being recovered from the scene?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so neither people that are on the ground had weapons?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do anything else pertaining to this investigation?
No, ma'am.
And this apartment complex that you responded to, you said it was on Elkstone Place?
Yes, in a Meridian Apartments off of Shea Road.
Okay, is that in Shelby County? I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, cross-examination.
Thank you. Good morning, Captain Draper.
Good morning.
I just have a couple of questions for you, okay? On April the 4th, you responded to a shots fired call, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had information to people down.
What I recall, it was just shots fired and we were screaming.
Okay. How many officers arrived at the scene?
Initially, I want to say it was myself, Officer Dunlap, and Officer McClain, but there was additional officers that showed up shortly after.
Do you recall how many officers total responded?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall how long you were there prior to the firing of less lethal?
No, ma'am.
Now, when you arrived on the scene, you had your sidearm.
I had my rifle.
Okay. I thought you had both.
Well, yes, but I had my rifle in conjunction to my sidearm.
It's a Glock that you carry,
Yes, ma'am.
and a Bushmaster rifle.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you went up the stairs, you had your Bushmaster rifle
Yes, ma'am.
in your hands.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you up to where that apartment is, and you came to the doorway where you could see in, and you saw that Miss Daniels was standing there with a weapon, you raised your gun, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You had a person inside with a weapon.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you are trained in dealing with that kind of situation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all get training in what's called the use of force continuum,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And that goes from no force at all to deadly force.
Yes, ma'am.
And less lethal is below the deadly force.
Yes, ma'am.
Less lethal can include the supersonic that you were talking about, or the rubber pellets, things like that.
Yes.
But the deadly force would involve typically your sidearm.
In that case there, it was, typically less lethals are used for, it's another tool for us to address the situation. And for us, even though deadly force would have been authorized in that circumstance, we decided to try to use another means to resolve the situation peacefully and the best we could.
Absolutely. And y'all are trained to go as far down the continuum as you can.
Depending on the situation, yes, ma'am.
You don't want to jump to the most extreme if you don't have to.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you encountered Miss Daniels, did you see her? Did you see her?
Yes, ma'am.
You had a good visual. Do you remember how far apart you were?
I can't recall the exact footage, but it was a ways distance. I was at the top of the stairwell. You had the apartment with both parties in the entranceway to the apartment, and then she was a little further back, closer in the interior portion of the apartment.
When you were speaking with her, were you still back at the stairwell, or were you back to the apartment?
Still back where I was.
Okay, you could see her in the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you did talk to her.
Attempted to. I did not get a response.
She was very visibly upset.
I did not see any emotion from what I recall. She would
Was
not
she-
communicate back to me.
Okay, so you were talking to her and she did not talk back to
Correct. We were telling her to put down the firearm, something to that extent, but we weren't getting a response from that.
Were you seeing her at that point behaving in a threatening way to the two people on the ground?
Our priority at that point was to try to detain and secure the situation because we had injured parties.
Right, but my question was, did you see her at that point in time threatening the two people on the ground?
No, ma'am.
Did you see her at any point, and this obviously is going to depend on where you were standing. Did you see her at any point putting the gun to her own head, to her own chest, and to her own neck?
If I recall correctly, at some point in our attempt to communicate with her, she did point the firearm towards herself, but I don't recall exactly what, if it was the head or the chest area.
And during that whole period of time, you're trying to talk to her, and she's not even.
There's no response. At one point, I do recall talking with Perry, asking her what the name of the subject was to try to convince her to put down the firearm, but it did not work.
So at some point, you yelled that the best course of action was to utilize that less lethal.
Yes, ma'am.
And once you did that, she was taken into custody.
Yes,
right? And paramedics then came to take care of Tabatha and purpose.
yes, ma'am.
At any point, did Latosha point the gun at any of the officers?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever see her point the gun at Tabatha or Brodes again?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall the initial attempt to deploy the less lethal not being successful? That the first gun jammed?
I do believe that there was a malfunction with the first one, and that's when we call it for a second one.
Somebody had to run down to their car, come back up and...
Somebody, I don't recall exactly who it was, but because me and the other officers there had this where we were because we don't want to lose sight.
And somebody brought up the less lethal, gave it to Jenkins, and Jenkins is the one who deployed the less lethal.
Correct.
That's all, Captain.
Thank you, ma'am.
Read right here. Read right here.
All right, you may step down, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
You may call your next witness.
State Post Officer McClain.
Do you swear affirm to tell the whole truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may have a...
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you state and spell your name for the record, please?
Yes, ma'am. It's Richard Austin McClain, RICHARDMCCLAIN.
Where are you employed?
I'm employed with Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Have you always been employed with them?
No, ma'am.
Where were you previously?
From 2016 to 19, I was employed by the Collierville Police Department.
And how long were you there?
3 years.
And what was the last position you held while there?
Patrolman.
So while you were at the Collierville Police Department, I'm going to take you back to April 4th, 2019. Do you recall responding to an apartment complex that day?
Yes.
Okay, and was that apartment complex in Elkstone Place?
Yes.
It was in Shelby County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And why did you respond there?
Shots fired call.
Okay. And who else was with you on that day?
Like officer-wise, I'm guessing?
Correct.
You had Dunlap, Draper, Jenkins, DeBaldo, and myself.
Okay. And what happened when you got to that scene?
Myself, Officer Dunlap, and Officer Draper were the first three on scene, I believe, or at the same time. We all started clearing the bottom floor, at which point we came into contact with the tenant, who advised us that the shots were coming from an apartment.
And did you ever go upstairs to that upstairs apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened once you got there?
As we made our approach upstairs, Officers Dunlap and Draper were in the hallway, and I was on the stairs, and we could see a male black and a female within the doorway on the floor.
They were on the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you said you were on the stairwell.
Yes.
What happened and what did you see when you were on the stairwell?
I saw Officer Dunlap and Draper and myself. We started giving verbal commands to drop the weapon, at which point it did not happen. I called for a less lethal, at which point the less lethal was brought up. It did misfire twice. I asked for a new one, went and got it, at which point that less lethal did work and was successful, at which point we did move in to the apartment.
So you said that there were verbal commands that happened, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At what point did you see a suspect?
Might have peeked in just to see what was going on and radio to our dispatch and responding officers so everybody knew what was going on.
And to your knowledge, was the less lethal employed?
As in,
Did they shoot it?
yes.
Okay. Did you see it? It was shot?
Yes, I heard less lethal, and then, of course, the
So at that point, did you stay in the stairwell? Did you go up to the apartment?
I made entry into the apartment.
And what happened once you got in?
Observed the two victims were on the floor and our suspect laying on the floor inside the kitchen, at which point Officer Draper secured the gun from the suspect's hand with his foot, and I made the gun safe. I cleared the gun.
Okay. So you have the gun in your hand?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you see when you had the gun in your hand?
There were several rounds in the magazine and not one in the chamber.
So in your experience, when you're looking at these guns, if there is not one chambered, but there's a magazine in the gun, what?
It could possibly
Objection
mean
to speculation.
What was the question? As in his experience, what would it mean if there was one chambered and if there was a magazine in the gun? He's testifying to his experience.
Yeah, I think he could, if he's familiar enough with guns, that foundation could be laid that he, if you pull the trigger, what would happen. But I don't think that he can speculate about why somebody would be that way. Just lay the proper foundation.
If there was chambered in the gun and there was a magazine in the gun, and if it was fired, what would happen?
it would go boom and a round would go somewhere.
Even though there was.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question correctly. If there was not one chamber, the gun would basically click and there would be no explosion or round going through that gun.
I'll pass it with you.
Sorry, cross-examination.
Good morning, Officer McClain. Thanks, Sergeant Warren. How are you?
Doing good, sir.
You might want to fix your collar on your jacket.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So taking you back to April 2019, you get a shots fired call. Were you in your vehicle solo, or were you riding with the partner?
I was solo.
Okay. And you get this call, you arrive at the scene of the Meridian Apartments, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you get there, who's there with you?
Officer Dunn and Draper
Okay.
when I first arrived.
All right. Did you grab your 12 gauge or did you go to the apartment with just your standard block issue?
Standard Glock issue. Yes, sir.
Did the other officers go with their standard weapons or did they go?
Officer Draper had his SWAT issued rifle, and I'm not sure about Officer Dunlap.
Okay.
I
Was
did not
Officer
recall.
McClain there at that point?
Was who?
I mean, not Officer. Was Officer Jenkins there at that point?
She arrived within a few seconds to a minute right behind, if I recall correctly.
Okay. And you go up the stairs to this apartment. And when you first walk into the apartment, you see a female subject on the ground, correct?
I did not walk the apartment. I was
Okay.
in the stairway.
Okay, in the stairwell. Could you see the female
Yes, sir.
subject on the ground?
Yes, sir.
Could you see the male subject on the ground?
Yes, sir.
Could you see Daniels?
No, sir.
Okay. At any point, could you see Miss Daniels?
As I said earlier, I might have peeked in so that I could radio to our officers what was going on.
Okay. So when you peeked in, did you see Miss Daniels?
For maybe a brief second.
Okay. And when you observed Miss Daniels, she never raised a gun at you or any of the other officers.
As far as I can recall, I never saw that.
Okay.
I can say I saw that she had a gun in her hand.
Okay. Did you see her point the gun at herself?
I cannot testify to that.
So you never saw her point the gun at her mouth, her chest, or her head?
No, sir, I cannot testify to that. Did not see it.
At some point, let me stop you. You all are trained in the use of deadly force, correct?
Correct.
You've been with the Collierville Police Department, and now you're with Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it's called the use of deadly force continuum.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? And
Yes,
there's sort of two extremes. There's the less lethal, correct, all the way over to deadly force. And you were the one that made the decision to use the less lethal means to try to take Miss Daniels down, correct?
We all did that.
Okay.
But it is a tool to use other than deadly force.
Okay.
It was an option to have.
Okay. And it was an option, and you guys, you called, I think you testified earlier,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Mhm.
And were you the one who made the first attempt?
Firing the less
Yeah.
lethal?
Yes.
No, sir, I was not trying to less lethal.
Who was the first person to make that attempt?
Officer Jenkins.
Okay. And she tried that twice,
Yes, sir.
and it jammed,
It misfired.
misfired. Okay. And then at some point, did you run down to get another 12 gauge
Yes, sir.
to do the less lethal?
Yes, sir.
And you came back upstairs, and you did it,
No, sir, I gave it to Officer Jenkins.
and Officer Jenkins did it.
Yes, sir. I was not trained in less lethal.
Okay, but Officer Jenkins was.
Yes, sir.
How much time between the first attempt and the second attempt?
As in when we had to change out less lethal,
Correct.
5 seconds maybe.
Okay. And from the time that you got there until the time the less lethal, second less lethal means deployed, how much time passed?
Can't recall to exactly that.
Okay. 5 minutes?
Probably possibly less than that.
Okay. And when Officer Jenkins did it the second time, she hit Miss Daniels, correct? She fell to the floor.
Yes,
Did you clear the weapon or did someone else clear the weapon?
I cleared the weapon.
Explain to the jury what clearing the weapon.
Yes, sir. So basically it means clearing the firearm, which makes it safe. You remove the mag, you pull the slide back, slide lock, and you check to make no round in the chamber or anything like that.
Okay. And earlier you were asked a question about having a bullet in the chamber
Yes, sir.
versus having them in the magazine.
Yes, sir.
On a particular weapon, you would have to clear the slide to get the bullet into the chamber, correct?
Yes, sir.
you were able to take down Miss Daniels, and she was taken into custody after she was, after you cleared the weapon, correct?
She was already down once I cleared the weapon.
And she was taken into custody.
Yes, sir.
If I can have a minute, you know. I'll pass it with you.
Y'all ready? Let's step down.
All right, thanks, ma'am.
They called Detective Chris Roberts.
Your Honor, could we approach briefly before these all these things?
Yes.
Gravity! Or what if we mixed Fireball with Apple? Fireball, blazing apple.
Ten-minute recess. We're still not ready to discuss case. I'm ready to show you for a 10-minute break.
We should bring the pass. Sure.
Perry is in Memphis and can come. That would leave me one tomorrow from Nashville with the TBI. I don't think I can get him here today, but if I can get through everybody to him, I was afraid that was going to happen, but hope we can get through everybody except the TBI who's coming in from Nashville in the morning. Be my hope.
Okay. Is there anything we need to address before the jury comes in? Get the jury.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're in the courtroom at this time. Watch step.
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small businesses easily reach thousands of customers. It writes sweet social ads and email marketing.
Are you ready to see me? Are we ready to get this started? You say you're going to call your next witness.
Detective Chris Roberts.
Come on, good sir. Stand here. Take a good. Raise your right hand.
Do you swear firm to tell the whole truth?
I do.
All right, you may have a seat, sir.
Would you say the spelling name, please?
My name is Chris, C-H-R-I-S, Roberts, R-O-B-E-R-T-S.
And what is your profession?
I'm a lieutenant with the Collierville Police Department.
How long have you been at the Collierville Police Department?
Approximately 27 years.
As a lieutenant, can I tell me what your duties are?
I'm a patrol lieutenant. That means I supervise supervising the midnight shift patrol division. We have approximately 14 patrol officers on our shift, and I'm one of the supervisors over that shift.
Do you have training in firearms?
Yes, sir.
Kind of tell us a little bit about that.
Like I said, I've been a police officer. I've been a police officer over 31 years. In that time, I was a SWAT operator for almost 5 years. I've had training in use of rifles, shotgun, handguns, less lethal weapons, most weapons that police officers use.
Do you have to qualify every handgun?
Twice a year.
Twice a year with a handgun?
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you a little bit about semi-automatic handguns.
Yes.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen that you're, like, what that is?
A semi-automatic handgun is a magazine-fed handgun that, according to what kind of caliber bullet that you put inside of it, that you the number of rounds that you want inside the magazine, insert the magazine into the handgun, you rack the slide back, And when the slide goes forward, a round is chambered into the gun and it's ready to fire.
And how do you fire that when it's ready to fire?
Some handguns have safety, some do not. If the handgun does not have a safety, you just pull the trigger. If the handgun has safety, you have to take it off safety and put it into the firing mode and pull the trigger.
And so every time you pull the trigger, what happens?
Another round goes off.
And what happens when the magazine is in?
The slide will lock back, showing that there's no more rounds to be fed into the chamber, so nothing else can be fired.
So if you run out of bullets or fire it till you run out of bullets, there's not a round in the chamber at that point?
No, sir. The slide locks automatically, and it cannot be fired again.
If the slide is then forward and you insert a magazine full of ammunition into that weapon, will there be one in the chamber?
Yes, sir, there will be.
Okay, I think you misunderstood my question. If the slide is forward,
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, the slide has to be rocked back, and you insert the magazine, then you release the slide goes forward, and that chambers around into the...
so if you insert a magazine without the slide, basically, will there be a round in the chamber? I want to talk to you a little bit about April 4th of 2019. You already testified you were with the Collierville Police Department. What were your duties at that time?
I was at the rank of detective during that time.
And did you respond to a call on Elkstone Place in Collierville on that day?
Yeah, I was the on-call detective that night.
And so do you recall about what time you got the call, what time you got there?
It was around 11 or so. I don't, it was late.
And when you get there, tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, what you observed and kind of what you did to start.
As soon as we got myself and Lieutenant Young and two other detectives came to the scene, we secured the scene, went over the crime scene, seeing what we were dealing with, including where shell casings were, where the possible weapon that was used was located, where there was any splattering. We talked to the officers that first made the scene there. We talked to the firemen that were there to see what happened with them. It was just seeing what the scene was about and then starting our investigation.
So one of the things I think you just said was you kind of take over the scene when you get there?
Yes, the patrol released things to the detectives and it becomes our scene.
Is one of the things you do is you start identifying and collecting evidence from that scene?
Yes, sir.
And did you do that at that scene?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hand you.
And so, Ron, so you could speak up so the jury
Hi.
and she can record everything.
Okay.
Speak up for it.
Can I touch this?
Yes, absolutely. If you open that up and look at it, and I just want to ask you to identify what's in there and how you can identify what's in it.
This is the handgun that we collected at the apartment that night. I recognize it from the serial number and the model.
Is there anything else in that box?
There's a magazine with several rounds of ammunition.
How many rounds?
Appears to be 5.
And you collected all that from the scene on Elkstone?
All the detectives that night, we all worked together to collect it.
After it's collected, what happens to it then?
We take it back to the police department and seal it in bags and seal it with evidence tape and then place it into the which is stored.
And that was done with everything in that box?
Correct.
Judge, I would ask that be marked as 3.
Any objection?
No, you don't.
You can show the gun, say around the exhibit.
I'm going to hand you a picture and ask you if you can identify it.
This is a picture of the handgun that we located at the department that night.
Judge, I'll be marked before, please.
Any
No.
objection?
No objection.
And may I publish that?
Yes. The photo of the. Four. Yes, you may publish.
And specifically, what is that photo? What was the purpose of taking that photo?
It showed the model, it's a Ruger handgun, and it shows the serial number that is associated with that handgun.
So what is the serial?
It is 455-51219.
And is that number unique to the handgun?
Each handgun has a unique serial number.
So no other handgun in the world has that serial number.
Not-
Hand you this. Yeah. I don't know if you want gloves. It doesn't matter to me. Don't know if you have anything to open that up, but I want to ask you to open that up and identify what's on the inside of it.
Thank you. May I open it now, sir?
Recognize the dogs.
Yes, sir, I do.
And can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, what they are?
These are the shell casings and a spent round that we've located inside the apartment.
Can you tell us shell casings and spent rounds? What does that mean?
A shell casing is what's left over what goes from the chamber. It contains the gunpowder, and it's ejected from the gun when the gun is fired. And spent bullet is actually the metal that actually goes out the end of the barrel, whatever you're shooting at. That's what it'll hit.
So what you're describing to me is something that starts as
Correct.
it's a casing with a bullet on the end. The casing contains gunpowder.
Correct.
You put the entire, you put that into the gun,
You put it into the magazine.
into the magazine.
Yes, sir.
And then what happens when you pull the trigger?
The firing pin on the weapon hits the primer on the shell, which ignites the gunpowder inside of the shell, which explodes and shoots the bullet out through the barrel.
So separate.
Correct.
And the bullet goes out through the barrel.
Correct.
What happens to the casing that's left in the weapon?
And this type of weapon, it's ejected from the weapon.
You say ejected, like, is it shot out like the bullet, or is it something
No,
different?
the bullet will go straight out. The shell casing goes out to the side.
And and how far approximately? I mean, does it go a mile? Does it go feet?
The shell casing or the
Yes.
bullet? The shell casing, maybe not far.
So if someone fires a weapon in a room 7 times, would you anticipate you would recover 7 shell casings from there if they were using an automatic handgun?
Yes, sir.
Did you recover shell casings from that residence on Elkston?
Yes, sir, we did.
How many?
7.
And is that's
Correct. Plus that is a bullet, one spent copper bullet also.
Tell me like how that would happen.
Whenever the bullet, if it goes into a body and it exits the body, the bullet will be left at the scene.
So it would lose most of its velocity at that point.
Correct.
And you might find that.
Correct.
would it be unusual not to find all of the bullets that were fired?
Correct. The bullet could be left in the victim. The bullet could be in a wall, can never recover. The bullet could fly. If it hit a window going outside the residence that we may never find again.
So if it went out the door was open and it went out the door.
Very unlikely we would never find that again.
I'm just going to ask you to put this back in there.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask that to be marked next to the judge.
Any objection?
No.
To show the shell casing and spent round inside the apartment as exhibit 5.
I'm going to ask you if you can identify this.
Yes, sir, I can.
That
This is the evidence that was collected by the ME from Mr. Perry's body.
so the medical examiner
Correct.
during the autopsy.
Correct.
So when they perform an autopsy and collect evidence, the doctor, what does the doctor do with it?
They collect it for us, seal it up, and then turn it over to the police department.
And who went to the medical examiner's office to pick up the evidence that they collected?
I did.
Can you tell by those markings that that's what you picked up after they performed an autopsy on Brodes Perry?
Yes, sir. There was like hair, nail. There's a few other things at the bullet.
Okay. Judge, I'm going to ask that be marked next exhibit, please.
Any objection?
Brenda, will that just be a cumulative evidence from the ME?
That's what I'm going to ask that it be marked as. Yeah.
Any objection?
No, you're right.
All right, we'll show this evidence collected by the medical examiner from the people's body as exhibit 6.
As part of the work you did on this case, Detective or Lieutenant, I'm sorry, did you submit any items to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what items did you send them?
The items from the ME, I submitted the gun, I submitted the spent shells also.
Did you submit the bullet that was recovered as well from the crime scene?
Yes, sir.
So 7 shell casings and the bullet from the crime scene, 5 bullets from the and the Ruger.
Correct.
All of those were submitted to the TBI.
Correct.
And what did you request that the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to do with those items?
I wanted them to see if the bullet matched the weapon that we retrieved from the scene. I wanted to make sure that the shell casings that we retrieved came from the weapon that we retrieved from the scene.
Okay. And after they finished did they do the examination?
Yes, sir.
And after they finish their examination, what happens to them? Do you go pick the evidence back up?
It can either stay with the TBI until court, or we can go pick it up and put it back into our evidence.
And the items that have previously been, those are all the items that you sent to the TBI to be analyzed.
As I recall, yes, sir.
Did you try to determine where and when the Ruger that's been used into evidence was purchased and who purchased it?
Yes, sir, I did.
And were you able to do that?
Yes, sir, I was.
And tell us what you found out.
What we did was we submitted the model and serial number to alcohol, tobacco, and firearms for them to run a trace on the weapon to see when it was purchased and who purchased it.
And who purchased it?
It showed it was purchased by the defendant.
Is the defendant in the courtroom?
Yes, she is.
Can you point her out, please?
She's over here in the white coat and the glasses and the blue shirt.
Judge, for the record, he indicated Ms. Daniels.
For the record, we'll show the evidence.
Where did she purchase that?
It was purchased at a sporting goods store in Sherwood, Arkansas.
And were you able to obtain from that store a receipt and where she purchased it?
Yes, sir, I did.
Can you ask you if you can identify that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did.
What is that?
This is a receipt showing that the defendant purchased a Ruger EC 9mm handgun and a box of 9mm ultra target range ammo and a box of 9mm JP D Crown ammo.
And that got a mark at the top. Is that a mark you got when you that you made on it when you obtained that?
Correct. That shows the file number to my case.
Does it show when she made that purchase?
Yes, sir.
And like what date did she purchase?
April 4th, 2019 at 4:37 p.m.
Does it show the last four of the credit card that she made that purchase with?
Sure it does.
And what are the last four of that credit card?
7571 to a Visa.
Doesn't last. That'd be made next exhibit, please.
In addition,
No, John.
will show the gun purchase receipt as Exhibit 7.
May I publish that for the jury?
Yes.
So is that what you just identified?
Yes, sir. It is.
And the top Fort Thompson, is that the name of the sporting goods store?
Yes, sir. It is.
That's in Sherwood, Arkansas.
Correct.
Did you go to that store?
Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to get there
It's about a 3-hour drive.
from Collierville?
Yes, sir.
And right under the word receipt, where it says 4/4/19, 4:37 and 07 seconds, that's the date and the time that she purchased that.
Correct.
It's got her name down there, Latoshia Daniels, with an address in Little Rock, Arkansas. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then right under there is RUG EC9S. What 9M is that mean?
That is a Ruger EC9 9mm handgun.
And under the 22990 is a serial number?
Yes, 455-51219. Yes, sir.
Is that the same serial number as the Ruger that was previously entered in Houston evidence?
Yes, sir. It is.
Was Miss Daniels' car found at the scene at Elkstone?
Yes, it was.
Did you get a search warrant for that car?
Yes, sir. I did.
Did you search it?
Yes, sir. I did.
Want to hand you something? Can you identify that?
Yes, sir. This is the credit card that I located inside the vehicle when I executed the search warrant.
And what are the last four on there?
7571.
And is that the same last four of the credit card that was used to purchase the handgun that day in Sherwood, Arkansas?
Yes, it is.
Judge, I'll be making this exhibit, please.
Interjection.
No, John.
All right, we'll show the credit card marked as Exhibit 8.
When you went to Thompson Sporting Goods in Sherwood, did you inquire from the owner as to whether they had a video surveillance system in that store?
Yes, sir. The day before, if I may, I contacted the sporting goods store and told them what I was. And they sent me 4 still shots from a video of the defendant going in the store and purchasing it. And then several days later, I went to the store and actually got a thumb drive from the store of that video.
I want to play a video for you and ask you if you can identify. And I will say, before I play this, that in an attempt to be more efficient with the court and the jury's time, I've shortened the video and sped it up at certain points.
Okay.
and even put a little writing in there, I think you'll see. But I basically want you to tell me, is this at least portions of the video that you recovered from Thompson Sporting Goods? And
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I just may note for the record, although this may not be the appropriate witness for some of this evidence, in the spirit of judicial economy, we're not objecting to any of this being entered through this witness.
All right, thank you.
Detective Roberts, is that the video that you recovered from Mr. Sporting Goods?
Yes, sir, it was.
Because the owner is going to be here tomorrow, but I'm moving now. I've put the entire video and then the kind of sped up clip both on the thumb drive, and I would ask that they be to evidence.
And again, with the same acknowledgement that we don't have an issue with it going in through this witness for judicial economy. We're going to come in.
Okay. All right. Exhibit 9 will show the video on the purchase of the gun.
Any of this picture? Can you identify that?
Yes, sir, I can.
And what is that?
This is the still shot that I received from the sporting goods store. They emailed me the day after I received the ATF filing information about the handgun.
And that, is that taken off the video?
Yes, it is.
Judge, that they were next to
No objection.
Will show the still shot. Cindy Walker was 16.
May I publish that picture?
Yes.
Is that what you just identified?
Yes, sir, it is.
And you recognize that individual?
That's the defendant.
So you recognize that as being Latoshia?
Yes, it is.
That's all. That's done.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, is it Detective Roberts?
I'm a lieutenant now, sir.
Lieutenant Roberts. Good afternoon, Lieutenant Roberts. My name is Sergeant Moore. I represent Ms. Daniels, and I just probably have more than a few questions.
I understand.
You were the lead investigator in this case,
Correct.
and with that comes a huge responsibility.
Yes.
Correct. When you're a lead investigator case, particularly a case like this, you have an array of duties.
Correct.
And the first thing you do is you get a call, and when you come to a crime scene, you have to secure that scene.
Yeah, usually the patrol officers have already secured the scene.
And once that scene has been secured, you make sure that it's been secured properly.
Correct.
Correct. Then you canvass the area to talk to witnesses to see if anybody saw anything.
We do our best, yes, sir.
Okay. In this particular case, did you canvass the area or the apartment complex to see if there were any witnesses?
I do not recall if I did. There were two other detectives with me that assisted me with this case. I do not remember particularly going door to door. There was only one other apartment next to Mrs. Perry's apartment there.
Okay. So the scene you arrived, it's been secured by the other officers, correct?
Correct.
Was Miss Perry or Mr. Perry's body still there they've been taken to the hospital?
No, they had already been taken by ambulance.
And Ms. Daniels had been taken away as well?
Correct. The Perrys went to the Med, or now Regional 1, and then went to Collierville Baptist.
Okay. And so now your job is to secure the scene and collect evidence.
Correct.
And earlier, Mr. McClain was talking to you. You started talking about some of the evidence that you got.
Correct.
In a case like this, once you started gathering evidence, you start kind of putting together the pieces to a puzzle.
Yes, sir.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, it is.
And in this case, you didn't know Ms. Daniels, correct?
No.
You didn't know Mr. Perry.
No.
You didn't know Ms. Pierce.
No.
You didn't know anything about who they were or their prior relationships.
I know nothing about this case.
Okay. So you come to the scene and you secure it.
Correct.
You start gathering and collecting evidence. It's important because you have to secure that evidence so that it makes it to this courtroom for trial.
Correct.
And so you did that.
Correct.
Part of your responsibilities and duties as the lead investigator is you secure the scene. We've talked about that. You collect evidence. Mr. McClain is.
Last year, when I made that call, you answered. You found me the support that I needed. You kept checking in on me, encouraging me, and lighting a way through a very dark time in my journey. Honestly, you helped save my life.
I feel there would have been a significant shift in my life if I didn't make that call. I've grown emotionally stronger in all areas of my life. Today, I'm still doing that work that we did together and giving myself space and energy to express my emotions.
You gave me a lantern in my blackout. At 14 months sober, I confidently say, if not for you, that lantern wouldn't still be lit.
Thank you for giving me the voice I knew I had, but I just couldn't find. And describe how appreciative I am that you led me to where I am now.
On through what you secured, and you make sure that it gets appropriate parties.
Correct.
In this particular case, you sent the shell casings to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Correct.
And you made sure that they got received.
Correct.
So that they could test it.
Correct.
And make sure that it was fired from that weapon.
Correct.
Early on in your investigation, it was pretty obvious to you that this was Ms. Daniels had shot Mr. Perry. Is that correct?
That's what we understood.
Okay. And once you went to the sporting goods store in Arkansas, you saw where she had purchased that weapon.
Correct.
Correct. If I can show you what's already been marked as, I think, exhibit number 10. I might be a little challenged. I see it here. This is Miss Daniel entering the sporting goods store, Thompson Sporting Goods Store, correct?
Correct.
And she's only carrying her car keys.
As far as I can tell, yes, sir.
She's not carrying a purse.
I don't see a purse.
And at some point, on the video, you see her purchase the weapon.
Correct.
And you said that happened at, according to the receipt, at 4:37.
According to the receipt, yes, sir.
Okay. And she leaves the sporting goods store.
Correct.
And,
Yes, sir.
and at some point, based on your investigation, she comes to Memphis
Yes, she does.
and goes downtown. How far is it from Sherwood to downtown?
2.5, 3 hours.
Okay. Because earlier you testified it was 3 hours to Collierville.
Yes, sir.
So about 2.5 hours would be.
That was my best guesstimate, yes.
And then another 30 minutes from down Memphis to Collierville.
Yes, sir.
And this all happened, the purchase was at 4:37.
Correct.
Correct. And what was the time that you responded?
I said it was late. It was maybe 11 o'clock or so.
11:37?
It could have been, yes, sir.
Okay. And earlier, let's talk about, you testified that you went out to Miss Daniels' car and you retrieved the credit.
That was several days later.
Okay, okay. Several days later, you went to her car and you retrieved the credit card.
We towed her car to our secure lot.
Okay.
And secured it, and then obtained a search warrant to search it.
Okay. And when you got that search warrant, you obtained the credit card.
Yes, sir.
Correct. There was no purse in the car, correct?
No, sir.
And there was no purse in the video.
No, sir.
When she was at the sporting goods store.
I don't recall if there was a lot of stuff inside that car, but I don't recall a purse.
Okay. Now, getting back to your investigation, as this investigation kind of went on, you started to put the pieces to the puzzle together, and information came.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that came to you, you got a call from a Chriselle Marshall.
Yes.
And Ms. Marshall told you about some videos that she was privy to on, was it an app called Marco Polo?
A social
media app, Marco Polo.
Correct.
And she, after you and her conversed for a while, she told you she knew Brodes Perry, correct?
Correct.
And that they had met through this app.
Yes, I don't believe she ever physically met him. I believe it was just through the app only.
Okay. And at some point, she sent you some videos.
Correct.
And you secured those videos.
Correct.
You watched them.
Correct.
And you turned those over to the state of Tennessee.
I put them on CD, and then I submitted them to evidence.
I can approach that.
Yes.
I'm going to hand you a thumb drive.
Thank you.
You recognize that?
This is the thumb drive y'all showed me earlier.
Okay. And on that thumb drive, those videos, or some of the videos from Marco Polo.
Yeah, there were quite a few that I viewed.
And all of those weren't played in court, but there were about 30 videos on Marco Polo that were provided to you.
Yes, sir. Plus or minus. I don't remember exactly how many, but there were quite a few.
Okay. And you reviewed all of it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At some point, you also, let's talk about Tabatha Perry. You also interviewed the Perry, is that correct?
Myself and Detective Shirky did.
Okay.
Yes.
You didn't talk to her the night of the incident on
No.
April 4th?
No, she went straight to the med.
Okay. She came in and saw you the next day? Is that
Correct. I believe I was on the telephone first, and then she came in.
Okay. And she came in, was she alone or was she with
No,
them?
she was with family members.
Okay. Did she have two other people with her, pastor?
It could have been. I know she had other support staff with her, or support people with her.
Okay. Was Pastor Pointer one of the people?
It could have been. I'm sorry, I do not recall who all was with her.
Okay. And at the point you talked to her,
Correct.
and she didn't know, at this time, you didn't have any information about these Marco Polo videos.
At that time, no. I did
Okay.
not.
But she was very surprised or didn't know anything about a relationship between Ms. Daniels or Mr. Perry.
Correct.
You interviewed her about how she invited Ms. Daniels over, and invited her into the apartment.
Correct.
She talked to you about how they caught up. And then at some point, how Mr. Perry arrived. They talked for a while. And then
It's hearsay. I don't know.
I'm not getting what was talked about.
What?
I can't.
Your Honor, I need to go back and make that, I think exhibit number 9, the flash drive. Or video.
Interjection,
No, ma'am.
or push up the drive, EPOs, exhibit 11. Continue.
Now again, that's what I'm asking you, were things that you learned through your investigation.
Yes, sir.
And you learned that at some point Mr. Perry came.
Correct.
And that at some point a shooting occurred. Correct. You didn't know any of your background between Mr. Perry and Ms. Daniels, correct?
Not until later in my investigation.
Okay. But when you were talking to Ms. Perry, interviewing her, you didn't know any of that information.
No, I didn't.
And so, and that was very early on in your investigation.
It was like the next day or the day after.
How long after you talked to Ms. Perry did you get a call from Ms. Marshall and get those Marco Polo videos? Do you remember?
Within a week.
Okay. Would those have been helpful had you had those prior to your interview?
Yes, it would have been nice to know.
Okay. If I can have a minute. Now, earlier I was asking you about your interview with Capt, correct?
Correct.
And you said that you and was Officer Shirky,
Detective Sharkey.
Detective Shirky were present,
Correct.
and you couldn't remember who was in the interview room with
No,
Tabatha Perry.
no, I do not recall.
Now, I'm not approaching with you.
Yes.
I'm gonna show you a transcript of
Sure.
that. You want to just take a minute?
Sure.
Don't read it out loud, just
Okay.
read it.
Okay. This is page 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
So just a little ago, I asked you about who was present during that interview, and you said you couldn't recall.
No, sir.
After reviewing the transcript, was there a pastor turning there from
Yes, sir.
Mississippi Boulevard?
Yes, sir.
And a pastor pointed from
Yes, sir.
St. Mark's?
Yes, sir.
During the course of your investigation, you also led you to go to Little Rock. Is that correct?
I did that all the same day. I went to the gun store and to Little Rock also.
Okay.
To close proximity.
Tell the jury where you went to in Little Rock.
There is a cigar store in Little Rock, and there's also a hotel in Little Rock that I went to in part of my investigation into this.
Okay, and when you went to do you remember the name of the cigar bar you went to?
Sons, something in Sons, it's Mr. Etheling's cigar store. It was a,
Dave
yes, sir.
and Gregory, you talked to both of them?
Yes, sir, I did.
And they own a cigar bar in Little Rock, correct?
Correct.
And that was a place that Pastor Perry, Brodes Perry's frequented.
Yes, sir.
And he also had a locker there, correct?
Correct.
And you went and you opened the locker.
Yeah, I had the staff open it for me.
Okay. And you retrieved a weapon from him?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Now, going back to your earlier investigation, I'm going to flip back to when you got to the crime scene and it had been secured and you started gathering and collecting evidence. One of the things that you did is you got Mr. Perry's cell phone.
Correct.
Correct? And at some point you tried to open it or get into the cell phone.
I believe we obtained search warrants, but I do not recall us ever getting information. I don't recall ever information from the phones.
Correct. You were never able to get any information
No.
out of his cell phone.
No.
His wife didn't have the code to it.
I don't recall that. I just know I don't remember getting information from his phones or the defendants.
Okay. Now, also, when you were shown, or you were asked a series of questions by Mr. McClain about this weapon, correct?
The Ruger? Yes, sir.
And you were asked questions about how to load bullets, how you put the bullets into the gun, correct?
Correct.
How you use the slide, correct? And one of the questions he asked you was, in order to get the bullet in the chamber, you have to pull the slide back, correct?
Correct, and then release it.
Okay. And when you retrieved that gun, there were bullets in the chamber there, but there wasn't one in the slide.
Correct.
Okay. Do you remember whether the slide was open or closed?
As I recall, it was made safe, so the slide would have, as I recall, the slide was back.
Okay. But you weren't at the crime, you weren't at the scene of any of this, and you couldn't tell the jury how that gun was at the time of the shooting or shortly thereafter?
No, sir. It was sitting on, I believe it's a coffee table or a table right inside the kitchen area there.
Okay.
It was rendered safe.
Now, part of what you did when you secured things, you started talking to the other officers that were there.
Correct.
Correct? And at some point you found out that Ms. Daniels had been shot with a non-lethal force had been used.
Correct.
Okay. You also found out that she had made attempts to or point a gun at her chest, head, or mouth, correct?
That was information given to me.
Okay. And in your training, you all are trained as officers to, you have a continuum of deadly force training, correct?
We have a force continuum.
Force continuum.
Yes.
And from on one extreme is less lethal force.
Correct.
All the way to the other extreme of deadly force.
Correct.
And it's based on the situation, the officers are trained to use their instinct, their observation, as to what type of force is to be used. Correct?
Correct.
And in this case, you found out, or you came to know that the least lethal force being used.
Correct.
That at some point they attempted less lethal force, that the gun had misfired.
I believe they had one shotgun that misfired twice.
Another rifle was obtained.
Another shotgun.
And another shot was taken.
Yes, sir.
Okay. going back to your interview with Ms. Perry at the time, Tabatha Perry.
Yes.
You also found out that she had been shot.
Correct.
And you also found out that she didn't believe Ms. Daniels tried to shoot her.
I don't recall that. I recall Mrs. Perry telling me that she tried to cover her husband to protect him, and that the defendant shot her. I don't remember saying she didn't think that Ms. Daniels had shot her.
If I can have a minute.
I don't recall that. Your Honor, can I have some water? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so for a minute, or did you want to take a minute?
No, I'm fine.
You also learned that during this exchange between Ms. Daniels at the end, right before the shooting, or shortly after the shooting, that she made the statement, "He broke my heart. He broke my heart."
Let's put in my affidavit. Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Just take a minute.
Sure.
to do that. I know it's been a while since you.
6 years. Okay.
You had a chance, Lieutenant Roberts, to refresh your recollection.
Yes.
And so I'll ask the question again. When you were questioning Ms. Perry, you found out that she didn't believe Ms. Daniels was trying to shoot her, correct?
I believe she was trying to shoot her husband again.
And not
Correct.
correct. If I can have it. I'll pass it. No question.
You better sit down, sir.
Thank you.
need a break. Yours. Attorneys in need a break. You may call your next witness.
The state calls Detective Watts.
Cool, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Judge. Raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may have a seat, sir. All right, you have a seat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you state and spell your name for the record, please?
Yes, this is Detective Jonathan, Jonathan, Watts, Watts,
And employer?
with the Collierville Police Department,
And how long have you been with the Collierville Police Department?
just over 20 years.
And what positions have you held?
I started as a patrol officer and now as a detective in the Criminal Investigations Division.
Okay. As a part of your duties, do you take pictures of crime scenes?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to take you back to April 4th of 2019. Do you recall taking pictures of a crime scene on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that crime scene on Elkstone Place, Collierville?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Is that an apartment complex?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happened when you responded there?
I was asked to come help process the crime scene in regards to a scene where 2 individuals had been shot.
When you say process, what does that all entail?
So for me at that day was photographing the crime scene, usually processing photographing, collecting evidence, things of that nature.
Okay. And where did you take pictures of?
I took pictures as we entered the apartment complex, apartment where the incident occurred, and where the suspect's vehicle was in the parking lot.
You could have had to see pictures, Detective Watts. If you could just take a look at these.
Yes, ma'am.
And after you look at them, if you could tell us if you recognize those pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
And do those pictures accurately depict the scene at the time you responded?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
And are those the pictures that...
Can you speak up? Yes. Oh, thank you.
Those pictures accurately depict the scene when you responded?
Yes, ma'am.
And are those the pictures that you took of the scene?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
Your Honor, if we these photos of the crime scene entered as a collective exhibit,
And fiction.
No, John.
All right. Show the photos from the crime scene, collective exhibit 12.
and Your Honor, once they are numbered, may I publish to the jury?
Yes.
Detective Watts, could you tell us what is in this photo?
So that is the 2 apartments that are upstairs in that apartment complex as you approach the building itself.
And what about this photo?
That would be the stairwell leading up to the 2 apartments upstairs.
So when you arrived at the apartment, at which apartment complex did you respond to? Was it the one on the right or the left?
So when you go up to the right.
Do you recall what's in this photograph?
Yes, ma'am. Those are photographs of the less lethal munitions.
Okay, the 12 gauges?
Yes.
We see right here?
That would be the ends of those less lethal munitions.
Okay. So same evidence, photograph from a different angle.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And what do we see in this photo?
That would be the entrance to the apartment number 205 where the incident occurred as it was seen on my arrival.
Okay. And do you see this area wall?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what that is?
There's blood.
And this picture right here?
Yes, ma'am. That's from the doorway entering into the apartment complex.
Okay. So just a close-up of the last picture we just saw.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you see this area behind the door?
Yes, ma'am.
What's on the wall right there?
There's blood there.
And this area that's kind of next to the rug on the right-hand side, do you know what's all in this area?
Yes, ma'am. There was some, like a shoe and some clothing and a lot of blood as well.
And what is this a photo of?
A photo of the handgun where it was laying.
Do you recall what brand of firearm that was?
I believe it was a Ruger handgun.
I believe this photo has already been admitted to evidence. But did you take this photo as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is this the same firearm that was found on the coffee table?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And could you read that serial number for us really quick?
Yes, it's 455-5129.
And what is this a picture of?
That's a picture of the magazine with the ammunition in it.
And was that also on the coffee table next to the Ruger?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What's shown next to placard 1?
That is a spent shell casing.
Okay. And was that the area that you previously described next to the shoe on the ground?
That was the issue into the apartment. It was right there. Yes, ma'am.
And what's next to placard 2?
There's another spent shell casing.
Okay. And where is this area? Is this near a wall?
But that was, I believe, behind the door. The open door. If you were to close it, it was behind the door.
Behind the front door?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Placard 3. Could you tell us what's shown in this?
That is a mangled round that had been.
Do you know what area of the home this was found in?
I believe that was right in front of the doors on the right there, where that heavy amount of blood was.
Placard 5.
That's a spent shell casing, or a spent round.
Okay. And is that a door frame that it's next to?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that near the entrance of the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Placard 6. What's shown here?
Is that another spent shell casing?
And this was in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this photograph shown?
The suspect vehicle.
And if you could describe to us what kind of vehicle this is?
I believe Toyota, silver in color or sedan.
And what about this?
So the vehicle just from the different angle.
Okay. Did you execute a search warrant on this vehicle, or did you just take pictures?
I just took pictures of it.
Okay. And so once you took the photographs of the crime scene and the suspect vehicle, what did you do with them?
With the photos,
Yes.
I submitted them into evidence.
So did you do anything into this investigation?
The evidence that was brought back, I photographed that in the lab.
and then all the pictures were submitted.
I'll ask the witness comment.
Cross-examination.
Yes. Good afternoon. Is it Detective Watts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Detective Watts. I'm Mark Horn. I just have a few questions. It gave me a little challenge with this technology. But you were called to the scene after secure.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And your job was solely to take pictures.
Yes, sir.
You didn't talk to any witnesses.
No, sir.
You didn't see anything the night of the shooting.
As far as what occurred in the, no, sir.
You weren't there when officers first arrived.
No, sir.
You didn't interview any witnesses.
No, sir.
You strictly just took photographs.
Yes, sir.
You were just given an exhibit with all of the photographs that you had taken, correct?
It was many of the photographs, not all.
And you took photographs of the entire apartment, correct?
Correct.
I think I got it. Here you go. Y'all see that? That was actually one of the bedrooms.
Correct.
Correct. Was it the guest bedroom?
I'm not sure if it's a guest bedroom. It's a bedroom inside the. Yes,
Okay. That was one of the photographs you took.
correct. Yes, sir.
That was the sort of living room area in that apartment, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And here on the table was the gun that had been cleared.
Correct. Yes, sir.
You photographed it after it had been cleared, but you didn't photograph after the initial shooting.
Correct.
So you would have known whether the slide was pulled back or not pulled back.
No, sir. Graphed in the way it was found when I arrived.
Would that have helped you in any way in your job to know that?
As far as if it was clear or if it
the
was,
slide had been pulled back, or
I mean, with them telling us it was cleared, it's going to be pulled back and locked out.
okay. You also photographed another weapon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And as far as you knew, that was a weapon of the homeowners.
Yes, sir. It was in the other bedroom under the nightstand.
Okay. And that was the weapon you.
Correct. Yes, sir.
This was also another view of that living area. Correct.
Yes, sir.
And you took a photograph of that.
Yes, sir.
This is the doorway that where they came in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you photographed that, and the doorway entered right into the kitchen area. Is that correct?
Correct. There's kind of a small hallway straight into the kitchen.
Okay. this would have been another photograph that you took of the living area from just a different angle.
Correct, yes, sir.
Now, earlier when you testified about the weapon, is this where it was found?
Yes, sir.
That,
Yes, sir, that other one in the box. Mhm.
and then again, when you all photograph the weapons, you a lot of times try to get the serial number correct.
Correct, yes, sir.
And in this particular case, you just photographed it was a Glock 42.
That's just on that side. The serial number would have been either underneath or on the other side.
And then again, these were vehicles in the parking lot outside the apartment.
Correct.
So again, just so we're clear, your job in this particular case was to do nothing other than take photographs.
Yes, sir.
Nothing else was done. You didn't interview any witnesses. You didn't interview witnesses. You didn't. You weren't there that night.
Correct.
And all you can add, other than today, is that you took the photographs.
Yes, sir.
So I can have them here. Oh, excuse me. If I could have you review those. I guess he's reviewed them.
Yes.
If I can move those in the evidence.
Objection.
There's not. I do want to take a look at one of them after their report.
See, no.
No further questions.
We'll show that it's put holistic civic of the photos of the crime scene on the 13 second set of pictures. That's the second set of crime scene photos. State.
More questions. So Detective Watts, I'm going to go back to this photograph that you took of the other firearm. And you said that it was found underneath the nightstand?
Yes.
And as depicted here, it's in a box?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse me, Ms. Wheaton, if you could speak up.
Yes.
Like you're trying to reach the back of the room.
I'll repeat my question. So the firearm that you previously talked about that was in the bedroom, it was in the nightstand, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it was in a box, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And is this the same firearm that was in that box underneath the nightstand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. From your view of it, is it loaded?
At that point, I can't tell.
Okay. What are the two items on the right side of the firearm?
Magazines.
Okay, so they are not in the gun.
They are not in the gun.
Questions, John?
Recross.
Just briefly, she just showed you a picture of that weapon with the clips on the side.
Yes, sir.
When you got to the scene, you weren't sure whether they gun was cleared, correct?
The gun on the table?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And the gun under the nightstand?
Had not been cleared.
That had not been cleared.
No, sir.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you was, does that recollect your refresh recollection as to the bedroom?
Yes, sir.
And was that where that weapon was found, under the nightstand in the bedroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, if I could have this picture.
There's a photo of the bedroom and it's 14.
Oh, yeah. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any direct?
No, you're
You may sit down, sir.
Thank you.
Does anyone need a break? I think it's a good time to take a break, so we're gonna take about a 10-minute break.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll jump or recess for 10 minutes.
I'll stand there and brief recess, your pens and pad in the chair, follow me.
We'll take, did you need to address us?
I'm just gonna give everybody an update. Logistically, the owner of Thompson Sporting Goods sold is here. I've contacted Dr. Curry, asked her to be here at 2 o'clock. That's all I'm gonna have. We'll have one witness.
We'll come back in 10 minutes. may be seated. Welcome back. All right, state, you may call your next witness.
I'm gonna call Ray Palladino.
Sir, come this way. Come on with me, sir. We'll stand here.
Yes, sir.
Just raise your right hand.
You swear affirm to tell the whole truth?
I do.
All right, you may have a seat, sir. Proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would you state your name and spell it for the court reporter?
Sure. Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D, last name Palladino, P-A-L-A-D-I-N-O.
You live in Memphis, Mr. Palladino?
I do not.
Where do you live?
I live in Capt, Arkansas.
What is your occupation?
I am the general manager of Fort Thompson Sporting Goods in Sherwood, Arkansas.
And how far is Sherwood, Arkansas from Memphis, Tennessee?
Depending on Interstate 40, roughly 2.5 hours.
You drove it this morning?
I did, yes, sir.
Thanks for being here for us.
Sure.
Tell me about Fort Thompson Sporting Goods. What kind of store is that?
Well, we do a lot of hunting. We sell a lot of hunting stuff, firearms. We do the shooting sports stuff. No fishing, but mainly just the hunting and the
So hunting clothes, anything to do with?
You betcha.
Okay.
Firearms, ammo, yeah, everything.
Tell me a little bit about kind of the process you have to do to keep records when you sell a firearm to someone.
So when you sell a firearm, you do a background check. It's called a 4473. That's just a number they give it. We have to keep those sheets in our possession as long as we have that FFL number, which means your federal firearms license number. So we have thousands of them.
So someone would have to provide you some suitable form of identification before they could purchase a firearm from you.
Correct. It has to be a state-issued photo ID.
Do you recall being contacted by Detective Chris Roberts from the Collierville Police Department sometime early April of 2019?
I do, yes,
And
sir.
what was he asking you about?
I was asking when she came in, the firearm she had purchased, did we have video in the store, which we did, and we do. And if he could have copies of that and come pick it up from us.
And so I think you already answered my question. You do have video in the store.
Oh, yes, yes, sir.
Were you able to locate the sale that he was inquiring about?
Yes, sir.
Did you provide him a receipt?
Yes,
That was
yes.
from that purchase? Did you provide him the video of the individual who purchased the firearm that he was inquiring about?
We did, yes, sir.
Let me hand you, this has previously been marked as Exhibit 7. I just want to ask you if that is the receipt that you in fact gave to Detective Roberts.
That is it.
And so that receipt shows a lot of things, doesn't it?
Correct, yes, sir.
It shows the individual who purchased it.
Correct.
It shows the date and time they purchased it.
It does.
Which was what?
That was 4/4/19. The time was 4:37.
And it shows who purchased it.
Correct.
What was the name of the individual that purchased it?
Latoshia Daniels.
And does it also show anything specific about that gun?
Well, they'll tell you the model and the serial number on our receipts.
Tell me about a serial number. What is that?
So every firearm has a serial number, and there is never supposed to be a duplicate. So if this is a number, it's that firearm, and it can be traced forever.
I'm going to It's also been previously marked an exhibit and ask you to look in that box and identify that.
That is a Ruger EC9S 9mm.
Can you tell me, with both the receipt and the firearm in your hand, that is the firearm that was sold by that receipt?
I can. You turn it over here so you don't ever point a firearm. There it is right there. This is it, yes, sir.
So you can confirm based on that information that Latoshia Daniels purchased that firearm on April the 4th of 2019 at 4:37 p.m. from your store in Sherwood?
Correct, 100%.
One more thing I want you to look at. When Detective Roberts initially contacted you, did you take some stills from your store video surveillance system?
Correct. Our IT gentleman did, Steve.
And is that one of the still shots that you provided to Detective?
Yes, sir, it is.
And what you're looking at, it's already been published, but that did come to your store at that time.
100%, yes, sir.
That's all the questions I have.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Had to make sure.
Yes.
I just have a couple of questions for you, okay? This 4473 that you talked about, can you tell me a little bit more about what that is?
So what it is the background check. First of all, you have to state picture ID issue. You fill out the background check. We run it through, it's called a NIC system, which is a National Tracing Center background check. And you get proceeded, or you may get delayed, or you may get denied, or what have you. And if you're proceeded, that means you are legally to buy a firearm in our state of Arkansas.
And that means no felony convictions, no domestic violence convictions?
Correct. There's a number of questions on that sheet that you have to answer yes or no to, and it's very well detailed.
Now, with it being very well detailed and having to go through this process, how long does that process normally take in store?
So it normally takes the customer roughly 7, 8, sometimes a little longer to fill out the sheet. We have sit down at the computer and put it in the database. Now, a lot of times you'll see common last names, Smith, Brown, Johnson. You know, it may take a little longer for that to clear because there's a lot of us. But there's some that come back instant. Some may take 10, 15, 20. I've seen it take an hour, hour and a half to come back.
And you didn't actually help Miss Daniels store that?
I did not.
So you don't know how long her background check took?
I don't.
But based on what you saw in the video, you see that she got proceeded.
Yes, 100%.
Which means she provided your store a state-issued ID, and she passed the background check.
That's right, yes, ma'am.
So she was authorized to purchase a firearm.
Correct.
Now, I want to talk to you about your store for just a second, okay? You have a wide variety of firearms.
We do, yes, ma'am.
You have handguns.
We do.
You have long guns.
We do.
Everything, teeny tiny little, those little itty bitty guns that you see.
Yes.
All the way up to, right?
Yes, you bet, yes, ma'am.
And is it fair to say that guns vary widely in size?
Yes, they do.
Is it fair to say that guns vary widely in weight?
Correct.
Is it fair to say that guns vary widely in price?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Guns can be really expensive.
They can get very expensive.
What do you think is the most expensive gun you have in the store?
Probably now, roughly, and I could be off, but we have a Beretta shotgun in there that's around $60.
Oh. What do you think is the least expensive gun that you have in there?
We have probably a .22 revolver that ranges in the close to 2 upper ones.
Okay, and 22 be typically less expensive than a 9mm.
Correct, in most cases, yes, ma'am. Not all, but most.
9mm, what do they usually start around?
Roughly two, and you can go up to $4,000 or $5,000, depending on if it's a customer.
And when you have them displayed in your store, do you have them up on the wall or do you have them in a case?
But they're on the wall.
Okay, and so you have the gun itself and the price.
Correct, yes, ma'am.
So when you're shopping, if you said, I've done this much money, you could pick that out on the wall.
Yeah, I may ask, what are you looking for and what kind of price range, and then we can go from there.
Do you recall having that gun in stock? Do you still have it in stock?
That one, I think we still have some. The model's kind of switched up over the years, but yeah.
Do you recall having a purple version of that?
We have had a purple, yes.
And the purple version was more expensive than that one.
It maybe was somewhat, yes.
Now the receipt, I want to talk to you about that quickly. I think you've still got it up there.
Mm-hmm.
The time you indicated was at 4:37 p.m.
Correct.
And all of the information that you have on that receipt matches Miss Daniels, right? She didn't give a false. And that's 4:37 p.m. Central Time.
Central Standard Time, yes.
And it took you about 2.5 hours to get down to 201 Poplar today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. About that particular gun, if you would mind opening it up for me. We talked about the fact that guns vary significantly in size and weight.
Correct.
If you wouldn't mind just picking that one up.
Mm-hmm.
That is a smaller handgun, right?
Correct.
It is a lighter handgun.
Correct.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Well, your lunch is almost here, so we're gonna take a break for lunch, and then we'll reconvene this afternoon. So I'm gonna show you excuse for lunch. You're still not ready to discuss the case, okay? So, we'll see you back this afternoon. All right, show court in recess.
Court stands in recess. Jury, leave your pen and pad in the chair and follow me.
They told you these stories didn't exist. We're here to prove they do. Real footage, real crimes. No filter. For more true crime from the South, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel at Southern Sin. You can also support more episodes by becoming a member of the Southern Sin channel, where you'll get early, exclusive access to crimes that mainstream media won't show you. Tune in for all new episodes every True Crime Tuesday at 9 p.m.